Okay, we have our well-ordered language book 2B, and we are in chapter 8. That is page 149. We're still working on relative pronouns and relative clauses. So there, if you can turn to page 149, and we're just going to review some vocabulary. We're going to be looking at some complex sentences. So some sentence structures called complex sentences are a bit like backpacks, remember? So our complex is related to the Latin verb complectare, meaning to intertwine completely. So if we look, we're going to be looking at relative clause, which functions as an adjective modifying a noun. A relative clause begins with a relative pronoun. Say them with me. Who, which, and that. And I'll add a few more. If you open up your grammar chart to chart F, our pronoun chart, all the way at the bottom, we can see all of them. A relative pronoun. Who, whom, whose, whoever, whomever, that, which, what, whatever. We're going to say it again. Say it with me. Who, whom, whose, whoever, whomever, that, which, what, and whatever. And as we looked at last week, let's look here. Where is it? Here we go. Our chart H, we are, what was I going to say? Down here, it says relative pronouns introduce adjectival subordinate clauses and relate them to the word they modify. They are used in complex sentence. So if you think about an adjective answers which questions? An adjective modifies a noun or pronoun by describing, qualifying, or limiting. So this whole adjectival phrase should answer the question, what kind, how many, which, or whose. All right? So it's going to tell us more about the noun or pronoun it is modifying. Okay, so let's go back to page 149. Remember, there are 4 types of sentences. Page 152. We have simple, compound, complex, compound complex. I want you to pause the video and I want you to read through the explanation of each one and then read this example as well. Okay, pause it and look over this chart. And when you're done with that, then start the video again. Push play. All right, we are going to be doing some practice sentences. You should have already done lessons to learn A, B, and C. We are going to do these sentences on page 168, okay? So open up your workbook. And we have, oh, Rosie, you need to do video for me. You need to do a video for me. Our first sentence is, Grandpa knows the man who built the stage for the musical. Make sure you get the whole sentence in, okay? Now, remember our order of analysis. Say it with me. Phrases, clauses, conjunctions, principal elements, and modifiers. Our modifiers are our adjectives and adverbs, okay? So keep that in mind. So first we're going to say, hey, is there any phrases? Grandpa knows the man who built the stage for the musical. How we're going to find a phrase? Most likely if we find a preposition, there is a prepositional phrase then. Prepositional. Are there any prepositions?
I see one.
You see one? What?
For the musical.
For the musical. So we put that in parentheses. This is our preposition. Object of the preposition. This is a definite article. It is an adjective. All right. Are there any clauses? We're looking for relative pronoun this time around. Relative pronouns. Who, whom, whose, which, that.
I see it.
Where is it?
Who built the stage?
Who built the stage? And remember, oh wait, that's not the whole. So we're going to say, if you say who built the stage, this is our simple sentence. Grandpa knows the man for the musical.
No, it's who built the stage for the musical.
Okay, good. Who built the stage for the musical should all be in brackets. This whole thing is our clause. All right, so who is our subject, and what was the action? Built is the verb. Built who or what?
Stage.
Stage, direct object. This is our adjective. It's a definite article. It's the stage, right? So now we're going to look at, are there any conjunctions?
Nope.
Fanboys, no. Now you might say, hey, Mrs. Rashid, isn't for a conjunction? Well, it is a conjunction, but in this case, it's being used as a preposition because it's a prepositional phrase. It's not combining two thoughts. It's not combining a compound sentence. It's not joining together a compound verb, a compound, usually the one that you'll see if it's, well, you understand. We'll get into it later. So principal elements we have grandpa is our subject. Underline it once. Grandpa.
Mom, you have to put it above.
Oh, grandpa knows. It's a predicate verb. Knows who or what?
Man.
Man. So we're going to circle that, and this is our direct object. The is an adjective. Now, we have to look at our modifiers from right to left. Our prepositional phrase is telling us more about
stage.
Why it was built. Why was it built? For the musical. So this is adverbial prepositional phrase. Okay, it's telling why, right? It's answering the question why. Can you see this? If you remember, an adverb answers the question how, when, where, why, how often, how much, to what extent, under what condition. Now we have our clause. This is telling us more information. Who built the stage for the musical? It's telling us more about the man, right? It's telling us more about the man. It's telling who, which man?
The man who built the stage.
If we look at our adjectives, it answers what kind, how many, which, and whose. Which man built the stage for who built which man built the stage for the musical? The man. So this is adjectival, and we put CLS for clause. Okay. First, we're going to go through, analyze all these, and then we'll diagram them. Yeah, we won't diagram all of them, but we'll diagram most. So our next sentence, our babysitter, who is the lead in the play, invited us. Our order of analysis, say it with me, phrases, clauses, conjunctions, principal elements, modifiers. Are there any phrases?
I see
any
one.
prepositions?
I see one.
Okay, in the play.
Yeah.
Now, do we have any, so this is our preposition, object of the preposition, adjective. This should be just second nature. Now, clauses. We're looking for relative pronouns. And our relative pronoun is who? So we're going to put this whole thing in brackets. Nope, just kidding. Do you see
Yeah,
there's a comma
I
here?
was gonna say our babysitter doesn't really sound like.
And you should be able
Sentence.
to take this out and still read your sentence. Our babysitter invited us. That should make a complete sentence on its own. But you can't just take this, who is the lead in the play? That is a subordinate clause. It's not going to work on its own, okay?
Actually,
If it's a question, yes.
yeah.
All right, so now who we have, this is our subject in this clause. Who is, that's our linking verb. Who is, it's our linking verb. Who is what?
Lead.
Who or what? The lead. It's a predicate nominative. It is renaming. Remember, it's since we have this linking verb here, we go, our alerts should be ding, 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 ding. Is it a predicate adjective? Or is it a predicate nominative? Is it telling us more about the subject, or is it telling us describing the subject?
Is it renaming or describing?
Is it renaming and redescribing? And the lead is renaming who? It's not describing, it's renaming. So it's a predicate nominative, not a predicate adjective. And this, of course, is just our adjective. Okay? Now we're going to look at our principal elements. I don't see any conjunctions. It's not a compound sentence. So our babysitter. Babysitter is our subject. Babysitter invited, that's our predicate nominative, or predicate verb. Invited who or what?
Us.
Us. That's our direct object. And
Deodorant.
our is an adjective. It is
A possessive.
a possessive adjective. If you look at your chart here, where are they?
Mine.
Ours, mine. Possessive pronoun, adjective. Ours, our babysitter. So our babysitter invited us. Now, if we analyze from right to left, our prepositional phrase in the play is telling us more about who and the lead. Who's in the lead? Which lead? The one in the play, okay? It can get a little messy here. I should just go like this. So this is a prepositional phrase, prep, and it is adjectival. Okay? And then who is in the lead is telling us more about the babysitter. Okay? So it is an adjectival clause. Got it? All right, our next sentence. Millie and Otis knew the music that was in the show. Phrases. Any prepositional phrases?
I see one.
What is it?
In the show.
In the show. Preposition, object of the preposition, adjective. All right, any clauses? We're looking for relative pronouns.
That was.
That was.
In the show. That was in the show. No, it's just that was.
That was. Note the whole thing. That was in the show. Because if you have a question, you're going to say, hey, is it just this? Millie and Otis knew the music in the show. Doesn't make sense. Millie and Otis knew the music. That could stand as a sentence all by itself. Millie and Otis knew the music. Sure. This is our adjectival clause because it's just telling us more. It's adding more information, telling us more. So that is our subject because it is a pronoun, right? Our subject pronoun. Was is our predicate verb. Now we're going to let me double check. Are we supposed to do
Dramatic pause.
Okay, we are supposed to say where this modifies first and then do this. So in the show is telling us more about
the music,
how it was. This one.
Oh.
Was adverbial prepositional phrase, okay?
Yeah.
That was in the show is telling us more about which music? The music that was in the show. Adjectival clause. Now we're going to find our principal elements. Going to read our sentence again. Since we're done with this part. What?
No, Mom.
Oh, conjunctions. Any conjunctions?
The most common one.
And. But is it combining a sentence?
No, it's combining a subject.
No, it's a compound subject. So we have Millie and Otis are subjects. And what is their action they were doing? Knew. That's our predicate verb. Millie and Otis knew. Knew who or what?
Music.
Music. That's our direct object. And the is an adjective, a definite article. And that is that. All right, next. Eden put flowers, which were daisies, in her hair. Prepositional phrases?
I see one.
In her hair. In is our preposition. Hair is our object of the preposition. Her is an adjective. It's saying whose hair? Her hair. It's a possessive adjective. It's her hair. In her hair is modifying, well,
where she put?
Where she put it. So this is a adverbial prepositional phrase. Remember, lots of times adverbs will modify a verb, okay? Eden put flowers, which were daisies. Here's our 2 commas that should alert us that, hey, this here is our clause. It's in commas. If we were to totally take this sentence out, which were daisies, we could say, Eden put flowers in her hair. Eden put flowers in her hair. Would make total sense without this clause. So which is our relative pronoun. It's our subject. Were is a linking verb. So daisies, what's that telling us? What part of speech is daisies?
Predicate nominative.
Predicate nominative. It is telling us what, it's renaming our subject, which is daisies. Predicate nominative. So it'd be like a SVLPN. And to diagram that would look like this, remember?
Svulpen.
Remember that? Which were, slant a line to tell us more about the subject, predicate nominative, they were daisies. All right, this one is modifying, which were
Flowers.
daisies, telling us which flowers. The flowers which were daisies, right? Adjectival clause. Now we're going to look at our principal elements. Eden put flowers.
SVTDO.
Eden put flowers in her hair. So we have Eden is our subject. She put is our verb. It's a predicate verb. Put who or what?
Flowers.
Flowers. That is our direct object.
It's an SVTDO.
So this is a SVTDO. All right. Now I'm going to erase these and we're going to diagram them. So you might have to diagram on a separate piece of paper. If you might not have room to diagram these. So we're going to do it on a separate piece of paper. I'm just going to erase my board and start diagramming. So for our first sentence, we have Grandpa knows the man. So we have Grandpa is our subject. Knows who or what? Man. our adjective that's modifying it is the. Now we have who built the stage for the musical, and that is modifying the man. It's telling us more about the man, so we are going to put our ... connect our sentences from there. And connect our subject to this one. Who, oopsies, built what?
Stage.
Which stage?
The stage.
The. Now we have our prepositional phrase, and we said it is or adverbial prepositional phrase telling how it was built. Built how? Or for why was it built?
For the musical.
For the musical. All right? Moving on to sentence 2. Our babysitter, if you need to, pause it and correct it. Okay? I'm just going to keep moving, so you just pause the movie, pause the video. Our babysitter. So we have a SVTDO again. Our sentence pattern SVTDO. So I'm going to set it up like this. SVTDO. Babysitter. Our, big capital O, our babysitter invited, who or what?
Us.
Us. Who is modifying babysitter? So my line is going to go like this. Okay? I'm going to set up my clause here. Who is the lead? And remember, we said it's a SVLPN. All right? So we said who is slanted line lead, the lead. Now we have our prepositional phrase in the play. So I think I actually have to put the here, the lead in the play, like that. Is that everything?
I think
Our babysitter invited us. Oh, our babysitter, who is the lead in the play, invited us. Sentence number 3. Millie and Otis. All right, we have a compound subject. Remember how to do that?
Rocket ship.
Millie and Otis knew the music. So we have SVTDO. We have Otis and Millie.
No,
Otis.
it's Millie and Otis.
Huh?
It's Millie and Otis.
Millie and Otis. Millie and Otis knew the music that, so it's off of that music, that was
Mom, your line has to go through.
Huh?
Your line has to go all the way through.
That was, and here's your prepositional phrase. In the show.
Mom.
What?
Can you hold the phone? I have to blow my nose.
Oh.
Oof.
All right.
Oof.
I'm going to erase all this and I'm going to write my next sentence down. Again, if I'm going too fast, you just pause it. This video is already 25 minutes long. So our last sentence we're going to do together is number 4. Eden put flowers. That's our main sentence. Our simple sentence. Eden put flowers. That is a SVTDO. So SVTDO. Now I'm going at, remember, here we have our SVI, a verb intransitive, has no direct object transferring the action. This one is Jesus loves me. Loves is a transitive verb, and it is transferring action to the direct object, me. So this is what we have, is a SVTDO. So we have Eden put who or what? Flowers. Now we have, which were daisies in her hair? Now remember that in her hair, if we look how we diagrammed it, that is an adverbial prepositional phrase telling us where she put them. Where did she put them? So we had to put our prepositional phrase here. In her hair. Our clause, our adjectival clause, was modifying flowers. So we're going to draw our dash line here. Set this up where we have our subject is which, and it is were. Now, what is the sentence pattern we said? Which were daisies? Remember, we said daisies was renaming our subject, so it is a predicate nominative. It is a SVLPN. So you should have this, which were daisies. And this is slanted because it's telling us more about the it's renaming the subject. Where up here we have a straight up and down line because this is a direct object. Our sentence pattern is a SVTDO, and then the clause is a SVLPN. All right, that's it for now. You finish sentences 5 through 10. Finish sentences 5 through 10. I'm just going to show you right here. You pause your video, work this out, and then you can come back and correct this. Okay? But I'm just going to show you this here so you can come back and find your answers for numbers 6 through 10. But no cheating. Try to work them out yourself, diagram them, and then come back and check your work at the end of this video. Have a great day.